Joining us now, White House and Foreign Affairs correspondent for Politico, Eli Stokols, and founding partner and Washington correspondent at Puck News, Julia Ioffe. Eli, again, quite a turnaround. We've been talking about this for a little while now, but seems like he's, I guess, solidifying his position that he no longer believes Vladimir Putin.
Well, he's certainly frustrated with Putin, and that Putin hasn't, come to the table to negotiate a peace to the war, and rather has escalated the conflict, several times over in terms of the bombing campaign against population centers across Ukraine. So the president is frustrated. Aides confirm that. He says it every time he's asked. And there are starting to be some demonstrable actions that we see him moving in that direction today, being the best example in terms of being willing to send more American-made Patriot missile defense systems and other weapons to Ukraine as long as the Europeans are paying for it. One of the things that the president has clung to here as he's made this change are a lot of the talking points. They're not the Kremlin talking points. You're not hearing him anymore saying that Ukraine is equally responsible for this war. But you are continuing to hear him talk about this not in moral terms or the terms about democratic values. You're hearing him talk about the war as a business deal. And he's continuing to say, look, we spent too much money. We're in it for too much money. He said that today. But as long as Europe is paying for it, we're okay with it. It seems like the European leaders, NATO leaders, they understand how the president is operating. They floated this arrangement to him. And so this seems like sort of Europe's workaround with Donald Trump, is that as long as America is not the one signing the checks, that they can keep Donald Trump in the fold. How far that gets them, we'll see. But that is a notable change from where we were just a few months ago.
So we'll send the Patriot missile systems, but Europe is going to pay for it and send us the money back. That's the workaround. Julia, how much skepticism should people have in Donald Trump's change of heart?
I think a lot. First of all, when Trump talks about imposing tariffs, he's talking on Russia. I would like to remind your viewers that in April, on so-called Liberation Day, when Trump announced tariffs against islands that that had more penguins than people, the one country that he did not impose tariffs on was Russia. He imposed tariffs on Ukraine, which is being attacked by Russia every day, as the president himself noted, but not on Russia. And the way that the White House explained that was, why put tariffs on something when trade with Russia has been cut down to zero? So what exactly will Donald Trump put tariffs on, first of all? Second of all, he's ready to put tariffs on American allies like Canada, like Europe. He's going after Brazil because they're going after one of his political allies and acolytes. But Russia, which is actively killing people every day, it's 2 weeks, then another 2 weeks, now 50 days. It's this ever-receding horizon that doesn't ever seem to get there, no matter how many times Putin disappoints Trump, whom, I thought it was so interesting that Trump said that I used to be the apple of Putin's eye. It just seems that he doesn't understand Putin at all still.
Do you think he's starting to understand him? Or is he... do you have a sense that he's trying to get back into his good graces, that he still believes he can convince him to stop this war? Or is he finally waking up and seeing what every other U.S. leader has seen now for decades?
I think it's a bit of both. On one hand, he is understanding that he has been stung and screwed over by Putin, and he said it today from the Oval Office. He said, he screwed over Biden, he screwed over Clinton, Obama, Bush, but he hasn't screwed me over, which is, as we see, is not true. And I think he still hopes that he can get a deal out of this. He really wants to get that deal. He wants to put those points on the board. He wants that feather in his cap, just, to mix metaphors here. But the thing is, I think what this business mindset and this American mindset doesn't understand is that not everything is a business transaction. Not everything has a solution. Not everything can be negotiated at the negotiating table. Putin has been very clear from the very beginning. He did the same thing to Biden in the winter of 21-22 when the Biden administration was trying to negotiate with Putin in order to not have the war even start. Putin has very maximalist demands, and he doesn't want to budge an inch and those maximalist demands are all of Ukraine. He has reiterated that again in the last few weeks. He said, all of Ukraine is ours. And anywhere a Russian soldier steps foot, that's ours. That's Russia's. That's not, and he sees that he's getting that on the battlefield. We're in the middle of the Russian summer offensive. They're pressing again across the entire front in Ukraine. They're bombing the cities, trying to overwhelm air defenses successfully. The point is, Putin doesn't want a deal, right? People keep asking me, Putin seems to have frittered away this opportunity. And I say, opportunity for what? He doesn't think, why give up anything? Because a negotiated peace deal, he'd have to say, OK, I'm not going to try to get all of Ukraine. He thinks he can get all of Ukraine within the year, maybe within the year or two. So why negotiate? And I don't think Trump understands that. I don't think he understands that this man doesn't want to negotiate, that he is going to try to take the whole thing by force because he thinks he can, and that he's in a better position to now than ever.